you have these kids that are working in hacker houses that are not sleeping. They're on drugs and they're building at
On Red Bull.
speeds that you cannot imagine. So
Absolutely. I'm doing roleplay on Discord. I'm a Discord mod.
is that what you do in your spare time when you're not bear hunting and hiking the Himalayas?
And I need to generate videos of a goblin.
Have you seen the 80s style ad? It was a Trump meme, or I think it was like a Epstein Island meme where it was like, you saw that one, right? It was like an
Yeah.
advertisement for kids to go to the island. It was hilarious, actually.
Welcome to Watch Out for AGI podcast, your go-to podcast for the latest in AI. We dive into cutting-edge models, news, and products with insights from developers and creators worldwide. AI evolves fast, and we are here to keep you informed. So whether you're coding, building, or just curious about AI, stick with us to stay ahead of the game. This is Watch Out for AGI. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a new episode of Watch Out podcast. Today, we have a lot to cover. It is one of those weeks where it's a competition who can drop the most products, the most models. And we have a very juicy week today. And I haven't had the time to check everything out myself. This is hot take reaction. I did get to try a few of these. I think Emmerich as well, you did try a few, but you didn't get every single one tested.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on in terms of new releases? Are we accelerating? Does this look like last year's AI season?
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, yeah, I just wanted to say, because it's accelerating, but I think there's also China that is accelerating. They are always releasing all the models like every week, but it seems like nobody really cares. Like you have Alibaba actually. I invested and I sold the stocks when it was really low. Now it's going to the moon and they are like releasing a lot of models. But I don't know. It seems like normal people are not using the Alibaba models. I don't know. Do you use any right now? Do you use Qwen?
I have Qwen downloaded on my Olama app. We haven't covered the Olama app actually, but that is a great way to run local models. And that is where I'm using Qwen. They have really well-sized models for local environment.
Yeah.
However, I would say that OpenAI has kind of knocked it out of the park with an open source, open weight function calling 20B and 100
the GPT
and something B. Yeah. Great. And actually, they have updated those. That's not even part of our news, but I did get a notification in my Olama app today that they had a new OSS model that they updated. And that...
Oh, really? I didn't know that they were actually working on it. That's actually impressive if they do.
I don't know. I don't know if they are actually working on it or maybe Olama has spun off a version from it, but there was an update to that model. And so I did get that on. I've been trying to use it, actually.
It has been updated last week.
Aha. Well, we catch everything here at Watch Out. But yeah, I have been trying to use it. I would love to see a cursor-like tool for open sourced, open weight models so that on airplanes that have unfortunate Wi-Fi, you would be able to actually work and not just sit back and watch a Disney show.
Then I did fly with Delta this weekend. They had Wi-Fi all time. I think they are using SpaceX. I think somebody told me that they're using the Starlink and they cannot say it, but they're using Starlink. A really amazing internet. Thank you, Elon, for this.
But no. The question is, can you make a phone call on this? Because if you can, it's Starlink. If you cannot, then it's not Starlink.
I think I could have been able.
You saw 200 megabytes or not? 400 megabytes.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
I was on Qatar and I had 200 megabytes. I was doing a video call.
I see. Oh, insane. So maybe it was not starting, but I don't know what would they use if it's not starting. But
yeah, no, they have some high tech with a Verizon or something like this.
Okay.
That does work with satellite. Just to let you guys know, I am following on this one. Unfortunately, my favorite airlines are not in advance, but United Airlines is currently equipping 50 planes per month with Starlink, and they should be reaching 100% of their planes by next year. That's crazy. But we're going to have to wait. And if that's the case, using OSS is a great way. But I don't know. You would need to find a cursor-like tool.
So I just think also in 2023, both of us, and me for the first, I was saying there will be anyway an open LLM that will allow you to do anything you want without actually having inference in the server. We haven't reached that point. Like right now, just the model that you get from OpenAI, from Google, from XAI, they're just better. They're just way better. I don't know if some other people listening are trying to use a local LLM. I would be curious to know why. Probably to save some money and doing the inference on the cloud. But for now, I'm not seeing a real use case.
With that said, we have quite a lot to get into. Let's jump into our first piece of news that arrived this week. I was very impressed to see Sonnet 4.5 that arrived this week with benchmarks that are quite impressive indeed. They do make you turn your head. We're looking at a 77.2% of Sweetbench compared to Opus 4.1. So you're getting a cheaper, better performing model, and you're beating as well GPT-5, 5 Codex, and Gemini. I love how Grok is not even put in this one. Kind of.
I think it's unfair because their last Grok, we talked about it last week, their last Grok is really great. So it's a bit unfair that it's not there.
But as we can see here, that the thinking will boost that to 82%, which is quite impressive.
I'm wondering what is parallel test time compute. Like, I'm not sure it's about thinking. I think thinking is already included here, and I don't know what they mean.
But I thought that there was a graph that was showing that there's a thinking against not thinking. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe if I scroll. But for now, yeah, as you said, we can clearly see. I think this is one of the most important thing for us, like Sweetbench. I'm always looking at Sweetbench as like the most important for my use case. I mean, I haven't tried it much yet. I mean, at least I don't have enough experience with it to see a clear difference. I think you already started to use it a little bit, Remy, right?
I have already. I was feeling FOMO actually when it dropped out. When it dropped, I had to do other work that did not include agentic coding, and I was feeling the FOMO real bad. Actually, it dropped the day or 2 days after my max plan expired because I canceled that because of my rage. I rage canceled it. Actually, that's the title of our previous pod. Rage cancellation of Claude Max.
And now rage subscription, FOMO subscription.
I'm going to tell you, I did run into my limits yesterday and I was thinking about renewing, but I'm going to pause on that one. I think that if you're planning to do a lot of coding work, do it.
Yeah.
If you can space it out during the day, I have Codex and I have Claude. I won't, and I have a backup as Cursor. And I can usually get the day done. It kind of breaks my flow a tiny bit, but I'm saving something like $80 a month, which is not that bad. I mean, I'm not a cheapo. I will definitely pay that 100.
Always spending.
It's just that I have been using around what a pro gives you, and I've been hitting that limit a few times, not all the time. So yeah. And by the way, if you are using Claude and Claude Code, the Claude is paired to your Claude Code usage. So if you're using a Claude Code and you max it out, you won't be able to use Claude either in the
It
Claude
does make
app.
sense. It does make sense, yeah.
Yeah, they have some general limits that are set up, and you are linked to that in general. If you want to get out of it, you can also go with the token per token API, which is very, very expensive. Now, talking about that, actually, I think that we're looking at the same price. The price hasn't gone down or up.
No, the price is the same. Yeah, it's still the expensive Anthropic pricing.
Does this also mean that Sonnet 4 will maintain its same price?
So it's unclear for me. It's actually unclear. Let me find it. I'm not sure because Sonnet 4, to be honest, was not that bad. I mean, we were really angry about Sonnet 4 recently, so I'm not sure if it's that great. But yeah, I'm checking right now. It seems like probably Claude is not trying to even advertise what would be the price because they do not want us to use it. For now, I see that Claude 4 is the exact same price. So basically, if you use Claude 4, that's your problem. It will be the exact same price. And it's also the same for 3.7. So Sonnet 3.7 is also at the same price. I have to respect what Anthropic is doing. They are not sellout. They always leave the high price. It's actually, I think it's great. They're never lowering their price. They should continue.
Yeah, so this model was directly updated in Cursor,
Yes.
in Claude Code. So what you need to do is run an npm install update on your Claude, because actually you're getting a Claude Code v2, so a 2.0 that came at the same time, and that uses Sonnet 4.5 straight out the box. What comes in this new Claude Code package? Let's put it that way. You have updated UI inside the terminal. And for those who are using VS Code, there is a new UI that is available. I don't know if you saw that one, Emmerich.
Yeah, absolutely saw it. I haven't tried it yet, but I saw that they added a new VS Code extension. I'm showing it right now. Yeah,
Well,
it
I'm
looks
going to
like
give you
this.
my hot take on this one. I'm currently using it. I'm using it and I don't like it, but I'm still using it. The extension inside the VS Code is actually unbeatable in terms of productivity, but having a UI instead of a terminal extension is, for me, a worse experience.
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, the UI
I see less information. I see less fuck ups. When it starts to mess up, you don't see what it's doing. You're basically getting Cursor inside your code. It's full circle. Someone said on Twitter, "Hey, we've just gone full circle. We're going back to Cursor, but with one model." And what do you think about this one, Emmerich? You have now.
I mean, it's just you're literally not the customer for it. I think when they're doing it and they modifying the Visual Studio Code, it's not that they enjoy the form factor. They just want to get more market share. They want to get market share from Cursor, I think. That's literally the only reason why they're doing it.
I always thought that Claude Code was a terminal. That was the definition of Claude Code. And now it seems like for a lot of people entering, this will no longer be the definition of what it is. Of course, it does have the same capabilities, but the definition of Claude Code has kind of been diluted here. And it's now comparable to Cursor, when before you would say, are you using Cursor or Claude Code? Cursor is for the noobs. Claude Code is in. Now you're like, it's the same, choose your taste. And Cursor gives you access to all the models. So you can do the same kind of work here. Actually, a better integration than this one. This UI is a bit clunky compared to Cursor. Of course, Cursor has been here for a year already. So they've made things a lot better. Yeah. And I don't know. I also open up terminals to run Claude Code. I don't always use this. So yeah. I also don't like the Codex version of this. I find it to be terrible.
I agree. Oh, you mean the Codex Visual Studio Code?
Yes.
So I have to say something that I noticed is if you use just Codex, you cannot paste images. Are you pasting images when you're trying to show something to the LLM? Is it something that you do?
I've done that in Claude Code and I've done that in Cursor, but I don't do it often. I feel like I don't understand how many tokens are actually sent in. I feel like I'm not in complete control of my context window in this case. I don't know if it's able to re-reference this stuff. I don't know how it works in the background. So I don't like it.
I'm just asking this because Codex doesn't support sending images in the CLI, but supports sending images in the Visual Studio Code extension. So I had to install the Visual Studio Code extension for Codex to be able to send images. And for me, it was really useful because I'm working right now on a mobile app and I need to show when there's a problem on the mobile app. I think this is a bit stupid on the OpenAI because it seems like a super simple feature. But yeah, sometimes, go ahead.
I'm going to say that this is a problem, no problem for some, problem for others. Why am I saying this? Is because I just spoke to a friend who was he's a solo developer, but he also works in groups with Figma designers that give them integrations and they have to integrate. And he told me, hey, dude, have you seen the Figma MCP? This is unbelievable. It just understands where things are and you don't have that many bugs that you need to debug with UI anymore. Let's say that your problem here, you're telling me that there's a UI problem and you're asking Codex to figure it out by looking at the image. Well, what about if there wasn't a UI problem to start because you pasted in something that was so easy for the LLM to understand with the MCP that it literally never happens. I think that that's when it becomes a no problem. If you're using the right tools, maybe if sticking images in isn't the most efficient way. And that's why I haven't been doing it myself. My belief is, what is happening behind the scenes here? Is this thing actually intelligent enough to understand that there's a problem? If there's, let's say, a Z axis, where you have a drop down that's behind a piece, if I copy that, will it even understand that this is a drop down and that it's behind another piece? Will it know where the other piece is in the code, etc., etc.? It's not that easy.
It's absolutely true. Though, if we look again to the benchmark of Claude, the new Claude, you can see, and I will show it right now, you can see that it really improved in agentic terminal coding. Also, here in computer use, yes. And computer use requires an understanding of the UI. And I think the models more and more, and I think right now Sonnet 4.5 being the best, allow really for an understanding on what is a UI. I think nowadays the multimodal models understand and can understand and see, like understand the UI. So I think sending a screenshot is literally the same that they do when they do computer use. So my take is that it's absolutely possible, and that the models nowadays understand what is a UI and what is a Z-axis problem. So you should try, because me, I have a bet that somebody, the first person that create a smooth development experience where your terminal always have access to your website when you're building it or your web app when you're building it, it would be way better. Like if at all time the terminal can have access to the state of your app and even like seeing the app, I think it would be way better.
When it comes to vibes now, let's talk a bit about experience. What I've seen, and then that was the straight off the bat thing, is that it is responding without adding extra bullshit between tool calls. It is sometimes even doing tool calls without speaking. It is becoming snappier. I'm liking this because we're looking at maybe a reduction in tokens used, which, they have been accused of filling out the context with a lot of bullshit. And so this is, we don't pay to talk to these models. We pay for them to build our software. And this is why I do like that, but then again, I haven't been able to compare apples with apples because of this new UI that kind of obfuscates a lot of output that comes from it.
You're talking about the Visual Studio Code extension?
Yes, I'm mostly using it in that context, although I have tried it in the terminal as well. I'm seeing a lot less token usage, so that's
amazing.
My feeling. Who knows what's happening in the background, because you have to press Control O or Control B or forget to see the whole thing. And I don't do that all the time. Now, moving on to the next topic, because we don't have much time to go over all the stuff. We will definitely talk about Claude Code, Claude Sonnet 4.5, but this doesn't change that much. We're talking still in the Claude world. We're talking about a memory tool that Claude has enabled. This is able to store and retrieve information across conversations through a memory file directory. Claude can create, read, update, and delete files that persist between sessions, allowing it to build knowledge over time, keeping everything in the context window.
Because we heard a lot about startups, 18 years old startup, a lot of startups actually that are building the MCP for memory. And memory is like super important because it allows for better agentic workflows. Instead of just asking once to LLM, the LLM understand what happened before and you can continue. And I think all the players forever, they were just pasting your full history. Let's say you talked with ChatGPT for like 1 hour. One idea to keep memories is just like taking all the previous question and just adding it in the context. It's totally inefficient and sometimes it's not good. Because memory is not built like this as human, memory is not built by just remembering one for one everything that happened. at some point, if we took a coffee in New York together, I'm not sure the memory in the memory it would be super useful and efficient. And so that's why seeing Claude actually trying to push its own tool, I think it's actually amazing because it will be allowing people that have the money to spend on Claude to build even better agentic experience, pretty much.
I think
Did
also
you-
this is a great way, if you wanted to build your own MCP tool, this is a great way to get inspired on how you would build this. Like you said, a lot of people are actually trying to solve this problem, what memory to prioritize and how to serve it up to the context is super interesting. Now, again, I would say 2 years ago, we didn't know how big of a context we would have had today. So we were looking at what, 2 years ago? We were looking at 4,000, 8,000,
yeah, 4,000,
16,000.
16,000 at most. 16,000, we were like, wow.
Just to let everybody know, where are we today? We're looking at
1 million.
We're looking at a standard being a 200K is your
Yeah,
standard
that's true. You're
base
right.
model. And then we're looking at 1 million, and we have talks 2 million contexts from Grok. Again, trying to be provocative with their plan. But the question about how many memories you can serve, how many you should serve, how to bubble this up into the context is, well, it's evolving as well as we speak.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a great addition. I think that this is probably garbage compared to where it's going to be, where they're going to push this in the coming months. This is where you create your moat when it comes to a full AI product today.
But even when we are coding right now, last week I was talking about the agents.md, and you can see that basically what the memory tool is allowing right now is to create a lot of XML. I didn't know why they really want to use XML, but what you are building up as a knowledge base is created as XML files. And the agent here, being an agent that is like a customer service, reuse these memories in these XML files, allowing to have constant memories of previous interaction.
I wonder where that's going to go. We will definitely bring it up if we start to see other companies expanding on this, creating new products around memory. I really believe that's the future, but we will get back into that. Now, the new talk of the day, I would say bust that I was about to bet that it was going to bust again. We're in the middle of the hype right now. It's called Sora 2. Sora 2, I don't know. When I was seeing this video when it came out, I was like, oh my God, they're spending money on something that last time they took about a year to get out. It sucked.
Yeah, it was bad.
As in terms of usage, VO3 was miles better. So was a lot of the cheaper options. Well, I mean, not cheaper options, but I would say third party. Now, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I do see an upgrade in terms of image quality. But what is it? What everybody is doing here, Pika, VO3, it's all about bringing it all together. It's all about bringing in the audio and the video and keeping the context, changing frame, changing, orientation, scene. Everything needs to stay together. And this is what I think this is trying to accomplish. As you can see here in this example, you're having the same scene with different orientation, different
orientation, yeah,
frame. Yeah, exactly. We're not hearing audio here, but the audio I watched a few of them. It's pretty good. What is your experience with this, Emmerich? Are you in the beta? Did you get a code?
No, I was trying to search for an invite code. I was at some point even like refreshing for 2 or 3 minutes, and at some point I was like, I'm stupid. I was refreshing by searching invite code on Twitter and trying to find. I couldn't, and for now I just gave up because I think it's fine. At some point it will be just available for free publicly. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed because Google has so much advance, and it's just like OpenAI just killed it. Like, it's really good right now. I think Sora 2 looks better than VO3. Sorry, I said VO2. I can also show, like, if you go on Twitter, you see a bunch of different videos created by everybody. So it's like a product that is actually available for people. And I would say the consistency is amazing. Like, it was good on VO3, but right now, I think on Sora 2, it's like amazing. You can inject people that are known. It's still a little bit like weird. Like you feel a little bit weird looking at it, But honestly, if you want to one-shot boomers and with like scam ads, that's amazing. It's actually becoming way better.
Have you seen the 80s style ad? It was a Trump meme, or I think it was like a Epstein Island meme where it was like, you saw that one, right? It was like an
Yeah.
advertisement for kids to go to the island. It was hilarious, actually. The style of the ad was quite impressive, to be honest. Like the voices, actually the frame was something like a 4x3 or a square. So it was, it was like, what you would get on those TVs back then. It was pretty damn good, and the sound was spot on. So
Yeah,
there's an app that you can download, and that is where you can generate your videos as well as share them. There's like a meta feed.
No, yeah. So now there is a bit of a new product. Like these companies are trying to make money by creating social apps. And right now you have two competitors in the space. You have first Meta that actually created a feed with like AI videos. I think on the Meta side, it's like nobody cares except boomers that are using Facebook. In the term of OpenAI, they created sort of a clone of TikTok. Like you can literally, you can doom scroll AI generated videos. And it will propose you. And it would propose you the most popular videos. I think right now, immediately, it's super viral because it just went out. You have a lot of Sam Altman videos. You have Skibidi Sam Altman in a toilet. So you have a lot of like this garbage. So it's really viral. Well, we'll see if in the future it will last. I think what happened with the first Sora, it was like really hype for like maybe 1 week, and then it just nobody cared. So we'll see. I think it's a good idea to try a new medium from OpenAI. It probably does not cost them too much compared to all the funding they are getting. So they should try.
Yeah, back on that Sora 1 thing, the chronology was they teased it again. They said it was for scientists, it was for creators, a glimpse at what this creator was able to do with it. Wow. Okay, when are we going to get this? 8 months, 12 months go by. Boom, Sora is out, but everybody had released already their own. And who cares? It was not as good as the other ones. And I think they might have learned their lesson here to not tease, especially in the AI world. When you're teasing, you have these kids that are working in hacker houses that are not sleeping. They're on drugs and they're building at
On Red Bull
speeds that you cannot imagine. So you could nuke your own thunder by showing what you're working on. People can just have a better product than you before you released yours. So I think they learned their lesson to not show a glimpse. You just release and you move forward. You flop or you not, but yeah.
To be fair with OpenAI, they just did that. Like this time, they didn't like hype Sora at all, and they just released it. So honestly, that's not too bad.
That's what I'm saying here. It's a different approach than the first one. So I mean, we'll see if it grows. I don't know. I haven't used it. I thought it was going to flop, but maybe I'll give it a try. But to see what is this thing, what is it all about?
Yeah. Also, I think this is Sam Altman. It's actually really good. They are using this Clubhouse invite code frenzy. So everybody's like, I saw some people trying to sell invite code. Like basically, if you have access, you have 5 access codes. So at some point, everybody will have access to it. But in the term of virality, I think they are really good. OpenAI is just probably one of the best player for virality of AI products. They are really good.
That's interesting. I mean, try to create rarity. Do you see yourself posting on Instagram a fake? Do you see yourself doing that on your
I mean, honestly,
media?
If the tool is easy to access, I don't have to pay much to use it, and I want to, create a meme fast. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, yeah, because we are already doing memes. We're just using templates, but like you probably saw like a recent Sam Altman, Trump, like you can just send a meme, like just share a meme, and like if the tool is easy to use, of course I would create some bullshit. Not all the time, but when you chill with your bros on a Discord server, or I don't know, you just want to send a bullshit to make everyone laugh, and that works. That always works.
Is that what
to be honest.
you do?
Absolutely. I'm doing roleplay on Discord. I'm a Discord mod.
Is that what you do in your spare time when you're not bear hunting and hiking the Himalayas?
And I need to generate videos of my goblin.
On some more recent news, I guess, this is when you sent to me, I guess yesterday or something, Periodic Labs. The
Yeah,
new lab
because
that
we talked about it yesterday with Remy, and we are nowadays trying to build our own lab. We're trying to create new use case, study, research. And I sent to you this new player. So it has been built, like the co-founders, I think, are like researchers that were VP at OpenAI. So basically they are really like known people. We are both software engineers in like big companies, but like it was known people, and they just went out of nowhere. And they already have like 30 employees, like 30 or 40 employees. They just went out of stealth. They have 30 employees. So it's not like nothing. And we talked about virality, garbage, slop, feed. This is totally different. They are trying to attack, I think they are a direct competitor to Google, because I think nowadays there is not a lot of labs that are focused on science. You have Anthropic that is more focused on like coding use case, and they are really good at it. OpenAI right now, it's more like we are serving consumer space. Google, they are more like we are serving you for cheap. And also the model is nice, but for now they are serving for cheap. And Periodic Labs here is trying to build a co-scientist way for, like, instead of paying an amazing scientist for 3 million. And also nowadays it feels like for all the labs you need like somebody that has a PhD in the founding team. You could theoretically use a co-scientist. Have you ever used like LLMs for research, for science, Remy?
I don't have time because I'm debugging why my view has a div that doesn't center. That's why I don't have the time to understand what makes an exoplanet and what doesn't make it. No, I haven't. But actually, I think that I know a few people that I could introduce to this world, because I think that today, when you do a PhD, you don't know that you can jump into, you don't see the bridge between PhD and tech, X-tech, like biotech, chemical tech. You don't see the bridge. You think that you have to go work for the big corporations, but they're not actually enabling the latest in scientific research. So I think that a lot of PhDs would be interested in this one. And so looking at this, they are focusing on which part of science? Is it just science in general?
No, like they explain here in the blog post that they focus on physical science. So they might be able to use like our dear friends Dassault System software, or like Autodesk software, probably to create reinforcement learning environment. But they are focusing specifically for now on like building materials. But I guess in the future they would want to like expand to other things. But they need to start with a narrow focus to start somewhere and like get value out of something.
No, I think this is super interesting. I really like where this is going. In the world of research, I would say that we're going to see a lot more of these. Now, coming from OpenAI, you're not going to see 50 of those. These are the top bunch. And if you look at all of the scientific advisory board here, none of them have LinkedIn. They all have .edu.
Google Scholar. Like if you search for researcher, like the first link that will be showed is the Google Scholar. The number of citation, the number of publication. Like they are working differently than just an engineer in terms of.
They don't have Google Scholar here on their links. If you look at the scientific advisory board, everybody has a page on Stanford or Northwestern.edu here. Who else? Stanford. Mostly Stanford actually here I'm seeing. Northwestern. This is a pure scientific play. I think this is super interesting. I mean, this could inspire us in what we're trying to do here. I would say that we would have to find a niche that's a bit more closer to what we are specialized in. But this is definitely a way. You choose a niche and you see how AI can change the flows in research, in science.
But it's also because, like one of the acceleration is we want to accelerate, and we heard a lot about AI going to cure cancer. And problem is the biggest player are not curing cancer with AI right now. They are working on like creating AI slop feed. So it's great that some like some companies are actually doing something to advance science with AI. And I think AI is a really good medium to advance science. And I'm talking about the AI, the LLM transformers-based AI. I think it's already super useful for it.
Well, let's see what they bring to us in the coming months. I'm expecting maybe a paper every month, 2 months.
Yeah, probably
So-
like thinking machines creating just blog posts.
Well, talking about thinking machines, they have a new blog. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. They are starting to. So I was actually impressed because, there's labs there's two big labs. You have one from IDEA that is like a super secure superintelligence, SSI. You also have thinking machines from Miramirati. And, they are just like super funded. I don't know, they got 1 billion pre-seed, like insane. And I was like a bit like cynical and I was like, they're going to do nothing for like years. But Miramirati thinking machines actually released the product. It's a fine-tuning platform. So it's something simpler. I think it's going in their logic of like creating deterministic LLM. And it might be a way to make your current LLM. So right now they're compatible with open source LLM. We were talking about Qwen. And it's a way to fine tune a Qwen LLM. And I don't know. I think it's great that they already have like an actual product that can be usable by people, showing that they do have engineers and they not only just researching, but also prototyping stuff. That's amazing.
You're telling me that they have an API?
Yes, they do. Yeah. You're just probably not the customer for it right now. It's purely for AI labs, this API. It's called Tinker. You can share it. Right?
I like their UI. It's very simple.
Oh yeah.
and
They're
nice.
actually really good at UI too. Like really open AI style. Tinker's API gives you low-level primitive like forward, backward, and sample. So we are really on a lower level. It's more on the training, fine-tuning. So if I'm not mistaken, fine-tuning is more like post-training. So you already have your pre-trained model that is not an assistant yet, and you would be able to tinker your pre-trained model with the API, if I understand correctly.
So I can see it's compatible with a lot of the open source stuff. We're looking at Llama,
Yep.
3.2, 3.1, 3.3, Quen 3 for the moment. Wow. Yeah. And then you're getting straight into the technicals. There's a Git repo and you can get started, I guess. Well, very
That's
cool.
actually, what, like being totally in the world right now, working at my company at Google, clearly they know what they're talking about. All these patterns right now are used intensively in production. Yes, they allow for an API to modify and to tune all the steps. I'm just thinking about prompt distillation. Oh, they do not have a the teacher pattern. Okay, they don't have all the patterns, but it's something that is solid and legit. It's not a bullshit API.
So as you can see, a lot of new stuff has entered the AI ecosystem. I think that what we should take away from today, go test out Sonnet 4.5.
Yeah.
That is the biggest news that we have. Wait for Sora 2 to come
generate more slop
to your email or to your whatever. Try it out whenever it arrives. I don't think that's a priority. I don't know if you're ever going to choose the memory stuff on the Anthropic side. That you will probably see an advancement, but not straight away. And yeah, I think that we're going to talk a bit more about these scientific breakthroughs, these new labs that are setting up shop. We're personally interested in that ourselves. So do let us know if you want to hear more on scientific research rather than mainstream shitpost generating tools that you doom scroll until you fall asleep.
We could deep dive on papers and explain more. Like for now, we're just explaining in surface level, but we could go deeper.
Well, with that said, this concludes our episode 3, season 2 of Watch Out. I hope you liked it. I hope you were not expecting something that we missed today, but if we get any requests, we will talk about it next week. Of course, there's a lot going on and we might have missed a few things, but thanks again, everybody, and we will see you in next week's episode. Take it easy.